All right, we are back with another podcast episode, and today we have some people you may have seen before. So Mike and Erin are back because they did something kind of crazy. So Erin did just correct me. I said, I think my tagline was going to be, you guys just got to do the most expensive thing at Disney World. And you corrected me and said the second most expensive thing, because the first most expensive thing was where we met at the Starcruiser, but that is now closed. So we're here to talk about Disney World private VIP tour. It's $450 to $900 per hour. You can book up to a 10-hour block. You probably have the greatest friends ever who took you along on this. This is what I want to talk about today. Give me one word to describe this experience to kick us off.
It's just magical. I mean,
yeah, that's a pretty good one. Just easy, relaxed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So it's an exclusive perk.
Mm-hmm.
You had friends that said, hey,
Mm-hmm.
come on. So those friends weren't us. Just want you all to know these were other amazing friends.
Yeah, we did invite you on that trip for the record.
No, we didn't.
We did.
Was
I
your
asked
trip
them if
to
you wanted to
invite
go.
me one on.
I don't think your friends that bought the tickets would have been happy.
No.
You can have up to 10 people. Would have been fine.
It was pretty amazing. We are very, very blessed. We have some pretty incredible friends, Paul and Genie included. But these particular friends, yeah, that was a next level gift.
Yeah. So next level gift. What was the first thing that you noticed? Because you've been to Disney many, many times.
Yeah.
And for people who've never experienced these VIP tours, this is what I would claim the next level Disney experience. What was the first thing that kind of caught you off guard that you weren't ready for?
Do you want to go first?
I didn't realize that we would have a full car service and that we would not be going in your normal like entrances and exits into the park.
Interesting.
So it started from the beginning for me. So I enjoyed that.
And they did pick you up at your resort, correct?
Yeah.
They picked us up at the yacht club, but you can have them pick you up anywhere on Disney property.
It's pretty rad.
Yeah.
It's so rad. What did they pick you up in?
Like a Suburban, like a big black Suburban.
Yeah. Decked out black Suburban with like plaid magnet vinyl stickers on it. So it's like, it's ours.
And it's Florida, so it's hot, and humid. But they had all the ACs inside blasting, like while they were waiting for us. So it was perfect.
Was there snacks or water in the Suburban?
Not at that point. Not at the
Okay.
beginning of the day. She asked us if we wanted some, but we had just we just met our friends for breakfast and then popped out front.
Okay. So what time did this whole thing kick off? What time did they pick you up?
So we could have selected any time at all. But we're early birds. So
Sure.
we met at 8 a.m.
Okay. So they swung by at 8 a.m.
Mhm.
And which park did you go to first?
Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
You got to.
So they drove you. Where did you go in? Since Mike said about these random entrances.
So we drove like beside the contemporary, like in front of the Contemporary. And I thought
Yeah.
we were going to pull in like to the bus stop where all the buses for all the resorts go. But we went
nice.
just past that and back in an employee entrance where they did a bag check, which I just had a crossbody bag and Mike wore a fanny pack, obviously.
Always.
And we passed those out to a security guard. He looked at them and went, all right, y'all are good to go. And that's the only bag check we did all day.
The easiest Disney security you will ever encounter. So it's basically the employee security that they go through every day.
Yeah.
Super laid back,
Interesting.
super friendly. It was great.
So the funny thing about that for me is we know going with you guys to Disney that Erin always gets stopped at security checkpoints.
Always.
Yes.
Always.
Every time.
Every time. Not there.
This was the easiest security line, Erin, you've ever been through.
The only time she hasn't been singled out and stopped.
Yeah. I was stopped
Every time.
every other time
Every
on
time.
that trip.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going. So on the ride over, just I'm assuming small talk. You're asking questions. They're answering things. You guys aren't sure what to expect.
Can I tell you, she took a page out of your, you know how easily you like came up to us and started talking and you're just so easy conversationally. It's like you were made for this job. She picked us up and she was like, "Hi, my name is, and I've worked at Disney and here's how I got here. And so excited to be with you guys today. And here's what I'm like." She was just a chatterbox as long as you like wanted. And she was very like, read the room and figure out what we were comfortable with and asking us questions and talking to us. But mostly she was just filling the air in the most delightful way.
Yeah, she kept the vibe up the whole time.
Yeah,
like she managed the energy going through everything, and she made sure that we were all up. And not that anyone was like ever down at any point, but like she did a great job of keeping everyone's energy level high.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder, like, what the interview process is for this position,
Okay, we know this because we asked her.
Yes.
We asked her. We were so excited. I was like, "How do you get to do this job?"
Yeah.
And so she said that she actually came out of food service. So she was working in one of the restaurants at a hotel or on property.
I think it was on property, but I forget where it was.
She told us, but I can't.
But it's not the traditional.
No, it was in Epcot.
Okay.
Because she's from Italy. So she started as part of the like college program. Yeah. So she was, so cool. So she was working in one of the restaurants in Italy at Epcot and applied for the job. She said 4 times. And on the 4th time, she got an interview. Wow. And she said it was the most intense interview she could imagine. And so there was like a spoken part, like a spoken interview part. And then, am I wrong that there was a written part?
So I don't remember that. Yeah, but there definitely was a heavy interview process. She talked about that. It was like
all day.
And typically they don't pull people from food services. They pull people from customer services. So she is a rare exception, and her personality is very clear. They need people like her.
But additionally, she spoke 4 languages.
That's a big one too.
Yeah. So I imagine that does not hurt at all.
Yeah, because then you could tag her with all kinds of people.
Exactly.
Wow,
yeah.
So high EQ.
Totally.
Obviously knows how to read the room,
yes.
Was bubbly when she needed, but not when she needed. Okay, wow, that's awesome. That sounds really good.
And made sure to give everyone the amount of attention they kind of required.
Wow.
Like was easy and fun with Mike, but our other friend's husband is a little bit more mild-mannered and quiet. And so, she wasn't quite as like bold and bubbly with him, but asking him questions and still talking to him and things. It was very, very cool to see. Like it was all very
wow,
purposeful from her.
Yeah.
It's like going to the park with a new best friend.
Yes.
Like she gave the appropriate amount of attention. So as you know, I typically have a camera in hand. I have my GoPro, but I wasn't filming a lot at all. And so she did a good job. She kind of knew where the energy was, like what I wanted to shoot, kind of when I was going to be in the way or not in the way. But like her engagement with everyone was like so good and so fun and so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that it just leads to, once again, well, some people aren't going to like this statement, but usually Disney nails what your expectations are in the sense of, you're going there for tip-top service. Okay. So I do want to say this so I don't forget, we'll do this at the end, but you do have a review of this entire thing on your channel, which is 8-Bit Blood on YouTube, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And it'll be posted today?
Is it live?
It'll be posted tomorrow morning, but whenever you upload this, it will be live.
Yeah.
I'm working on a thumbnail right now.
Perfect. So I just wanted to let you know if you want some more in-depth stuff, that'll be out there. Okay. So you guys go into Magic Kingdom. What's the first thing you do?
Haunted Mansion. She asked, no, we took a picture in front of the castle. She said, I always like to take a before picture. And so she took a picture in front of the castle, and I have that picture and one of Mike when it was raining real hard later, and then an after picture. And those are the only pictures I have from that day.
Yeah, we were so engaged. And also we came into Magic Kingdom right next to the ice cream shop near the hub.
Like behind the...
So like we didn't come in the front entrance.
No.
It was really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then
so like down Main Street there, you came in kind of behind like the shops.
Yes.
Wow, interesting.
And she asked what our favorite ride was, and how I like to be first. You know how I always have an answer. So I shouted Haunted Mansion, and so that's where we went first.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what was the ride experience like? You just guys are like, excuse me.
No, I have to. So I figured we'd be going in like lightning lanes, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. We went in a special elite lightning lane, back of house, still decorated thematically. Like it wasn't like the, employee entrance. It was like an entrance that they have for VIPs. It was so bizarre, but it was so cool. And I was like, can I take a picture? And she said, technically we are backstage, so no.
And that was like the one rule at the beginning. You can't film or take photos when you're in a backstage area. And like that was the most interesting thing in some spots. It was so hard not to sneak a pic, but
what they count as backstage. And so we went in a little door that spit us right out into the fireplace room. And she walked across and secured us the right spot at the right door. And then when the door opened, she like hustled across and secured us like right in the front where we would be the first ones out of the elevator.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
So she also has to manage to be very on point, pushy, but not pushy with all the guests, but also secure exactly what you guys paid for.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, she has to consider, because they do high profile tours. As much as I wanted ours to be that way, it wasn't. But they handle like celebrities coming through there. So for the sake of like security and crowds, they have to be on top of their game.
Yeah.
Wow. So it was not a lightning lane, which I was with you, Erin. I would have thought you just went to the front of the queue, excuse me. But it wasn't uncomfortable at all because it's a completely separate entrance that you came in and like backdoored everybody.
We did. We did do that. There were some that we went through the lightning lane. Like Small World didn't have a special entrance.
Okay.
Yeah.
But several of them did. Pirates of the Caribbean had a special entrance.
Yeah, went around the backside where the employees come out and just kind of went in a holding area, like a part of the line that you never get into. We were just waiting for her to get us on.
It was very cool.
It was really interesting.
Interesting. So could you go on as many rides as many times?
Yep.
Did you ride a ride multiple times back to back just because?
We didn't do that, but we could have.
We should have.
Interesting.
We should have. So we tried to...
I'm sorry.
No, we tried to get as many rides as we could. So we were like checking off boxes. And because I made a table of everything we did, I obsess over that. We got 17 rides and attractions that day.
But we legitimately thought that we would like run out of stuff to do before the 10 hours hit. And we ran out of time. We did all four parks. Yeah, we did all four parks in one day.
So you had a probably a 30 to 35-minute ride over to the other parks, getting in, parking, all that kind of. No, this is what I'm telling you. We never went in a main entrance. We pulled like So
it was it was like 10 minutes from what
my goodness.
Like getting in the car to getting out of the car. It was never more than like 10 minutes. It was wild.
Yeah, I built a spreadsheet with every activity that we did for some data analysis. And a normal like bus trip is like 40 minutes, like waiting on a bus, getting on a bus. We would take a 10-minute drive into the park and then enter through a side backdoor exit into the area we wanted to go to. So
we did everything at Magic Kingdom that we wanted to. And then we went over to Animal Kingdom. And she parked us in the behind area of Pandora. And so we rode the 2 Avatar rides and we were like, we don't want to ride the safari. We want to go over to Everest. And I said, so should we take this path here? And she said, oh, no, we're driving.
That's pretty great.
Oh, it's saying it can't access our video.
That's all right. I can still hear you.
Okay. So
she drove you behind the park over.
Yes. And so at Animal Kingdom, so we got back in the car from Avatar and then drove around the outside, and she was showing us like, this is where the animals stay when there's a hurricane. And this is where when there's weather and a tree blows over, we have other trees planted back here. So we just pull that one out and put one of these in. That's the same age. Like we planted it at the same time. It was, and so then she parked us behind Dinosaur and we came up into Dinosaur.
And we went through like an employee area and people are just like eating lunch on steel benches, just hanging out like behind the scenes. We came out into the gift shop of Dinosaur.
Wow.
Pretty wild.
We rode that. We had lunch. We mobile ordered lunch, but she got us drinks and Snacks. Oh, she got us several snacks through the day.
The pizza, the spring rolls or whatever after the Pirates one was cool.
That was legit.
So she was like asking us, hey, what's your favorite snacks? Of course, we love like the cheeseburger egg rolls and like the pizza egg rolls. We come out of the ride and she has them just waiting for us.
It was cool.
Yeah.
So when you guys are riding the ride, she's getting little insights and then running and getting stuff just to. So like, what did the food situation like? You could have just said, hey, this is what I want. And then she's just running and getting whatever.
So we paid for our own lunch.
Yeah, but snacks and stuff are included. So like churros, popcorn, like the egg rolls and stuff like that, little stuff.
She just got us little treats once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah. And we made the mistake and we got really hungry just because we were moving and like doing so many things.
So easy to do.
We hit a point where like, I'm freaking starving.
Yeah. And then so they wanted to ride Everest. So as we were leaving Everest, she was like, tell me your Starbucks order and I'll have Starbucks ready for us when we get to Hollywood Studios. And so we got back into our car outside of Dinosaur and popped right over to Hollywood Studios, and we pulled up behind the Tower of Terror, like on the backside. And
jeez.
Yes. And when we got out, someone was holding a basket of snacks for us to choose from. So we got like a bag of chips and a granola bar and walked in and sat right down at Starbucks. And then my favorite part of the day happened. It was like something from a movie. She said, y'all sit down here. I'm going to go get your drinks. So she brought us all our drinks and we're sitting at a table under one of those big umbrellas, right there. Yeah. And it started raining a little bit and we were like, that's fine. And then it started raining harder and then harder and harder. And it was like monsoon downpour. But so we're sitting under this beautiful umbrella with our, funny little drinks and snacks, and it's pouring around us and we're dry and she's telling us stories. And it was like something out of a movie.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Wild.
So now in a normal situation, people that would be on a VIP tour would probably be very upset at the rain and just sitting in it. But because we've pretty much done everything, we spent that time and asked her questions about that's when we figured out the interview process and what she did. So it was we enjoyed just getting information from her and learning more about what her world was like. So we were fine with it. Also, on the back end, you tacked on extra time. So and that was, I don't know if that's something they usually do.
She said she called. When the rain stopped, she took us back over to the Star Wars area. And when we got off whatever ride we were on, I don't know. She said, so good news. I called my management and told them that the rain meant that we couldn't do anything for a while. So they've added 30 minutes onto your time.
So sick.
So cool.
Yeah, I'd like to say it's just because we were a really fun group.
Yeah.
And she really liked hanging out with us.
We'll go with that too. So what are some things that surprised you that you learned sitting at that table? Anything jump out?
Oh, yes. I will tell you something. I asked how many tours are going on today because that was just a random Thursday.
And it was a low park level.
It was Thursday, October 3rd.
Yeah.
Kids are in school. It's it's not a real desirable time. She said 95 tours.
And at least 7 hours, low end, probably 450, 500 an hour.
90. And so to be fair, it's one tour guide per 8 people. So if your group had 12 people, then that's 2 tours. So some of those 95 tours may have been 3 guides for one group or whatever, but still on a random Thursday.
And you're paying for the guide. So if you add on another guide, it's double that amount. So you don't get a discount on that.
Right. So you can have up to 8 people sharing the price of one guide. Is that what you're telling me?
I think it's actually 10 if you look it up.
10?
I think it's actually 10. Yeah.
Okay. So either way though, you'd have 10 people if you had. So were you guys the only 4 people with your guide?
Yes.
So yeah, we did not share, you pay for your own guide per your party. There's no overlap. There's no shared Uber experience here. It is just exclusively your party.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really awesome. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I know. I see a lot of videos of them bringing influencers in and they mix a lot of groups that way. But if you pay for your own, it's just the people that you're with. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you came into Hollywood Studios, the backside of Tower. Did you see any behind the scenes or areas that surprised you, like, at the Haunted Mansion ride, or did you see anything with, like, I don't know if they take you down to the tunnels or anything crazy?
We didn't get to see the tunnels.
I
We
wanted
were
to see
so
the tunnels
bummed.
so bad. I was basically begging for that, and she's like, "No."
We did ask, and Disney jail is real.
Oh, how do you get into Disney jail?
Challenge accepted.
No. I think possibly the people that we saw in the Haunted Mansion last time we were there were in Disney jail.
Fighting old people. That's right. Yeah.
And if you're holding a baby and throwing punches, odds are pretty
Disney
high.
jail.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What? Okay. And anything else that was crazy that you saw?
So we drove around the back end of like Epcot, and we drove by like costuming.
Yes.
And like we saw the areas where they have like lunch, they have their stores and their restaurants in the back.
There was a subway back there.
There's a subway back there
Oh.
in the tunnels. There's a subway in the tunnels. She was telling us about that. But just like the staff just behind the scenes, just being casual was really interesting.
I mean, because they're just at work.
They're just at work. Like
Yeah, so it's almost like an entire city behind all of the facade.
Yeah, and I never thought about like how they literally turn it on the moment they're like in the area of the park where guests are.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting because like, oh, I can see that switch turn off now. Weird. And I know where they go.
Yeah. Where did you come in at Epcot?
So we drove in
Oh,
and we parked it behind Soarin'.
yeah.
The parking lot back
How
there.
did we get into Soarin'?
So we walked in where those bathrooms are right in front of Soarin'.
Oh,
So those
yeah.
exit doors, that's
Double
where we came
doors,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, those double doors near
Yeah.
the restrooms right in front of Soarin'. That's where we came in.
So when you were going to a park, you just told them, "Hey, we want to hit this first," and that's where they parked.
So, kind of. So we had, with our friends, I made us have a business meeting because I just can't not be bossy.
So Erin.
And like list out all the things that we wanted to do and the things that were important to us and the things that seemed like fun or whatever. And so they relayed that over to the office of the guides, whatever that is. And so she had kind of a fact sheet on us. And really, we just wanted to like see all the coolest stuff, ride the newest and the best, and like if there were any special like festival food things, that was the idea. Those were the like cool things we wanted to do. And so as she like was with us a little bit longer, she got more of a read on like they're not gonna want to do that, they're gonna want to do that. And so it felt like she kind of took the lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very early on in the day and was like, we're going over here and then this, and now we're moving on.
Yeah, we were all adults, so she knew that we didn't want to sit through any shows. And which, like, if you're on a VIP tour, like that, I'd imagine would be a massive time suck. And I wouldn't say a waste of time if like kids are into it, but for a group of adults, where's my dad? All the way. Yeah, we didn't do that.
We didn't do that one.
Oh man, I hate that we missed that.
Yeah.
Oh, emo Nemo, man.
Emo Nemo.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So back to the original car ride. One, did the SUV have like the resort smell, and was there music playing?
She didn't play music.
So, no, we could have asked for music, but it wasn't themed on the inside. It was just a high-end SUV.
Yeah.
It was very comfortable. And when we came back to the car many times, they had someone start the car, like the AC would be running. Yeah. So we would get into a cold car.
So elite.
So like little stuff like that was I see you guys and I appreciate that.
And cold water. We just, so much water. And it was so sweet. The first, after Haunted Mansion, she brought us bottles of water and it was Dasani, which I like. But she was like, just so you know, Dasani is not going to be the vibe of the day. They were out of smart water.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. But one really cool thing pulling up behind the Tower of Terror, there's like a valet line in the backstage area where the VIPs pull up. So it's like you're getting valet at the Tower of Terror.
Hotel. Oh my god.
Because like we get out and look up and you see a different angle of the hotel. I was like, oh my gosh, there it is right there.
It was crazy.
Wow. That's really crazy.
Yeah, it was kind of neat. That kind of hit me in that moment.
I wanted to take a picture there too, and she said,
like,
"No,
no.
technically we are backstage. You
Backstage, honey,
cannot take a
no."
picture."
So when you're coming off the rides, are you
Mhm.
coming off with everyone else and then she's just waiting right outside the ride for you? Is
Yes.
that how that works?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. As soon as you come off, she's right there. Typically, you're not even like out of the ride itself, and she's waiting with you.
And going, Erin.
Yeah. Just continually keeping the vibe up, keeping it fun, keeping it light.
That's amazing.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so so you came in the backside of Soren, which is really fun.
And did
okay.
things there, and then got back in the car and went all the way around to behind Guardians.
Yes.
Okay, so you covered Living with the Land, Soren, that whole area, and then you went all the way over to Cosmic Rim.
We basically just rode Soren and then went back to the car.
Okay.
Because that was near the tail end of the day and we were running out of time.
We were so running out of time.
And so, like, one thing, we didn't get to ride Guardians, but she was totally, like, ready to kind of badge us on it because you have to be with the guy to get on the ride because they're your access to that.
We just
But
had a dinner reservation,
so we decided to skip that.
which was okay. We'd all ridden it before, but
Yeah.
a drag.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy that now, okay, so you definitely need a plan going into this. So you said you hit 17 rides. Was that all of the ones you wanted to hit?
I'd say the only one that we didn't get to do was Guardians. Like, me and Scott wanted to do Guardians. Aaron and Amy were not into it. But as far as everything else, there wasn't anything that I'd say we missed. We were pretty happy with everything that we did.
And you guys were moving at a 10-hour day, which is a long day. And you were moving at a good clip, getting to the front of all the lines, and just got through almost everything. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
A little after 6 p.m. because we had the extra time with her. But yeah.
Okay. And you only lost like a half an hour in the rain there sitting at the table.
Yeah.
Which is totally
Good.
fine. We got all the deets on her high profile tours, which is fun, but we can't share.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's
I get it.
secrets.
They
Trade
probably meet a
secrets.
ton of celebs and everything.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm so sure.
Well, I mean, did you let her know that you were in the Wall Street Journal? I mean,
Well, you know,
We did talk about stuff like that. She asked us
may
what
come
we
up.
do. And I was like, I work in events. And she was like, oh, like we're the same. I was like, no, we are not. No, we're not. You're a different level of person than I am. We are not. We are in different universes. I could never. You're amazing. And Mike was like, I stream.
I also was dressed like a goofball, so we got a lot of weird looks from people, but it's
Yeah.
probably just because what I was wearing.
Which
yeah, you're wearing your full Chubby's outfit, right?
Yeah, it's pretty
But as you
colorful.
know, as you're walking through the parks and you see people with a plaid, the game is always like rich or famous. You know?
Neither.
Neither.
Get at me, bro. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. And so they're in like a full plaid like suit, correct?
Mhm.
It's like green and blue, I think.
She had a white shirt with like plaid like shoulders. It was a little more subdued. It
And
wasn't
shorts.
a vest. And shorts, blue shorts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So there's somewhere vests, somewhere had like a button-up shirts that are all plaid, but hers was subtle.
She was
Do
adorable.
you feel other cast members or other workers were treating your group differently as you were moving through the park? Like,
Yes.
did you feel okay?
1,000%. I think a lot of it had to do with our guide because she would like yell at other coworkers she knew, like, hey. So of course we got the hey. Like, I think a lot of that was her, but then also every cast member, they know what the investment is in that. So I think they do kick it up a notch.
But
We did
truly,
feel
she
that.
was friends with everybody. It was the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, she definitely picked.
Yeah.
You guys had the right one.
Yes.
That's. I'm assuming because you're both like adults, you didn't ask her like how much. I'm so interested in how much she makes in that
No.
position.
Well, we didn't ask, but I mean, they do get tips, and it has to be. I think she's doing pretty great. It's a very desirable job. We were talking about some of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very very elite, very desirable people. There's not a lot of turnover.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's very coveted and it's weird. Like, she lives on property there, like in an apartment. So she was very happy with her situation. She seemed very comfortable. The weird thing to think about is even when the price spins up from like $450 to $900 an hour, their hourly rate does not change.
Yeah,
So
sure. Right.
they don't get
But
anything
they're-
extra on those days, except like a tip. If someone tips big, then that's different. And everyone should tip if they ever do this. And tips can be all over the place, like between like 200 to like 2,000, depending on the like how affluent they are. Like we tipped on this, but you got to tip. You got to tip.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. What how many tours a week? Do you know how many tours a week she could do? Or would she do back-to-back tours? Like if it's a 4-hour and a 4-hour, is that possible?
So it's a 7-hour minimum, and they're supposed to be there. The research I've done, and I'm sure someone can find if I'm wrong or not, but I think they're supposed to be there an hour before and an hour after the tour ends. So that's their shift. So for a 7-hour tour, that pretty much locks them into.
She had a 12-hour day that day?
So she had a 12-hour day with us, yeah.
Actually, 12 and a half.
Yeah. So like she was probably ready to be done. But there, you couldn't tell. Like we had such a good time with her.
At the end, she was like, "I don't want to say goodbye," which I mean, it felt very genuine. Like, but she hugged us, and it was really sweet. Yeah,
it was really sweet. It was sweet.
My gosh, it sounds incredible.
Yeah,
we highly recommend it. When are you going next, Brandon?
We're going the end of November.
How big is your party?
4.
Oh my, perfect size.
Yeah, it's something Jenny and I are definitely going to do sometime, hopefully. But yeah, it's definitely not on the cards this time. So what are 3 things you think that the VIP tour like enhanced your Disney magic? Like, 'cause you guys go quite often. So like what are 3 things from each of you that made this experience so much different?
So one, just the ease of navigating the parks. And 2, like not feeling pressure about we got to get here, we got to get there, we got to, our lightning lane's coming up, I got to get on the app and, get access to this ride or whatever. And 3, I will say this is outside of the Galactic Starcruiser, which was literally just all planned out like this for us. This was the only time that I have been at Disney that there was 0 pressure on me, that I didn't think about where we were going to eat or what we were going to do next, or she would have mobile ordered our food for us, but I was like, we can do that. But like, I mean, I didn't have to plan anything, and I'm the planner for our trips, just so everybody knows. And I was like being Mike at Disney World. Like that's the first time that I felt like he feels when we go on vacation.
Pretty fun. Pretty great.
pretty fun being on this side of the fence.
Pretty great.
That was pretty awesome. I'm jealous. I need a wife.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, I totally get that. And the new like Disney Premier Pass thing kind of is along similar lines with rides, specifically, obviously not with gate entrances and all that kind of stuff, but it's a similar process where like if you don't want to fight on the app all day because that's what you have to do, but you're going to pay for it to do it for sure.
For sure.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, anything else jump out that was super magical besides this woman being amazing?
I think to Erin's point, like just how easy it was, so we've been going, I think we've been on over 30 trips in the last like 14 years to Disney. This was like the first time I really felt like a kid and just didn't have any responsibility. I normally don't because I'm with Erin, full disclosure. I get that. But it was fun to be able to like have that same energy with her, because she's always like worried about what's next and all that stuff. I'm terrible to travel with, I know. But yeah, it was really sweet to see kind of her relax and just go with the flow and just have a good time and not have to worry about anything. Like we didn't worry about anything. She was throwing waters at us before we got thirsty, and it was super hot that day. So it was just not having to worry about anything.
That's good. Anything else?
I just can't recommend it highly enough. Request Kiara. She was phenomenal.
Kiara from Italy.
Did you have any character meet and greets or anything like that happened with any of the characters?
Did we?
We didn't. We could have, though. But we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't.
So if you have children and you're thinking about doing this, obviously they can get you probably right up to the characters and all that specialty stuff as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we probably should have.
I mean, I think we've. I mean, Figment is like the big one. Like, it's fine. Me and Figment call each other. We talk all the time. We text. Fine.
So those of you who don't know, Mike has an infatuation with Figment and the ride, and Erin hates it. So
It's the worst.
We didn't get the one other cool thing about this VIP tour. It felt like 2 days in one. So the rest of our trip, we didn't like worry about anything. So like we got a slow start the next day because it was like, well, I mean, what else are we gonna do? We did it all. Let's just take it easy.
That's a really interesting point. That you're gonna have a completely full 10-hour day that essentially could cover, if you plan it correctly, everything that you want to ride in all 4 parks with ultimate ease.
Yeah.
A non-stress 10-hour fully packed day. I mean, that's
pretty ideal. And so our friends left on Saturday. So we were with them together Thursday and Friday, and had just the slowest day on Friday, the easiest day. And then on Saturday they left. So it was just me and Mike. And there was a point on Saturday where Mike was like, should we change our flight and go home earlier tomorrow? Like there's nothing left to do. And I mean, we could have filled the time, but it was so nice to get home early and, go to the gym and get laundry done and grocery shop. And like, it like bought us so much time. I think that's the coolest aspect.
Yeah, that's really good. When we went in February, I remember we had that moment in Epcot and we're just sitting in the middle of the park at that open area for like an hour and a half.
Best.
Glorious hour.
Yeah. But like those, I'm with you. Those are the moments where like most of the time you don't get to sit there and think that way or just relax like that. You're like rushing. And it's like they had music playing. Didn't realize we were in the park. It was awesome.
Yeah. Once you lose that urgency, like being in the park and trying to find that thing you want to do or get, like it's a whole different game. It was really nice.
So you said you did sit down to eat. Was that after the VIP tour was over?
Yes.
We did sit down for lunch.
It was a fast service.
Yeah.
It was at the Restaurantosaurus, which just makes me laugh. And then we had dinner in Epcot, which is why she put Epcot last. So we had dinner in Canada. The steakhouse is so good.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Was there any perk while into like that quick service sit down that you noticed with the VIP thing?
Not really.
We mobile ordered. Did she? No, you got our food. I was like, I didn't get my food, but that's because my
she offered to help. Like she would have like done stuff like that, but like we were fine. Yeah. She made things easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like there wasn't like any priority access.
Oh, she got us a cookie.
She got us
drinks and a cookie at lunch.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Did she eat throughout the day?
She ate lunch with us.
Okay. Excellent.
And she sat at a table next to us. She was so sweet. And was like kind of quietly eating her lunch. And our friend at one point talked to her and she was like, no, I was just trying to give y'all some space. And we were like, we don't need space. We thought you needed space.
Oh, yeah, you're one of us. Get over here. Like, it's fine.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah. Right. It was so
Not
sweet.
the way this works.
It was
Yeah, she's probably trying to give time to like families and things like that, or just time to bond. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They are okay. That's really cool.
And she had Starbucks with us too.
Yeah, she did.
But awesome. It was so great.
So you've said it a couple times, and this question is like worth the splurge. So the value of this price, you kind of said it. It's time back.
Yeah.
And it's ease.
Yeah. That's
the value.
That's the gift, right? Like it was so generous of our friends to invite us on this, but the gift of it was them, like they've known us forever, and them giving me a chance to be a kid, like to do the relaxing, and they just bought us a whole trip together in one day. Yeah,
it's interesting because the time component of it, like that's the biggest part, and just being able to spend time with your friends in a relaxing setting at Disney World, like without having to rush or worry. And like I built a data set to show kind of what the value actually is.
With the data,
we can measure the value of the time. And
well, we got absolutely crucified in the Starcruiser podcast episode, so
that's
he had to bring the value back.
But I'm just saying, like, if you didn't have a VIP guide, you would have a 22-hour day in the park to do the same number of things. In 10 hours, if you don't have a VIP guide, you do 7 things. We got 17 done.
I want to
Yeah.
be clear that I would never have a 22-hour day in any park.
Well, you can't. I mean, Disney won't let
Ever.
you.
Not
Also,
for
the
me.
line, like your time buckets, where your time goes. If you don't have a VIP guide in that situation, it's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. The other piece of it you mentioned about like not doing shows and things like that. So like when you're planning, how did you guys, you were obviously probably focused on rides mostly, but what feedback would you give people who are thinking about this? Like what should you focus on? What should you steer clear of? What should you not waste your time on?
Well, I think it's just whatever's important to you, right? So
Okay.
for us, it was, getting on the cool rides that we like and, making sure we got on Avatar and the Star Wars stuff for the guys. And it just that's the thing it brings you is just whatever's top of your list is what you get access to. So we did see some other families there with kids who were doing the meet and greets, with their guide. And that's what's important to them at that point in their lives. So they could nail all of that in one day and spend the rest of their trip just, kind of free and easy because we already did all that. I mean, so to me, it does require, like, I know I'm this person, I'm a planner, but it does require a little bit of planning up front. Like it does require you to say what is going to feel valuable to me at the end of the day and getting that information over and making sure that they cover those things for you.
Did you ask her like how the fireworks show works and like how you get access to that?
I didn't ask.
So I think if you're with them and it's within the time, I think they can give you access to like preferred seating or whatever those areas are.
Because you can also start much later. Like you could start at noon and be with them until 10:30 or 10, I guess.
Yeah. So and obviously if they have to take into consideration whether is it only on property resorts?
I believe it's anywhere on Disney property. So I mean, you can meet at like oh gosh, what's downtown Disney called?
Disney Springs?
Yeah, you can meet at Disney Springs, you can meet at a park, you can meet at a resort, any of them. I don't know if it's off property though.
I don't either.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why you would go into like, early hours or late hours simply because you have a VIP. So there's no reason to really be there unless you're like a night person, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the best
going there mostly to get on rides.
Yeah, the best thing to do is if you know what park you want to start at, just meet at that park. But the access.
Do you think so? I thought it was pretty rad them picking us up at the hotel.
That was pretty great. But if you meet in the park, then your time starts when you meet up with your guide. So if you tell your guide, hey, we're meeting like at Casey's on Main Street, then the moment you meet up with them, your time starts.
I disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly.
So, I mean, yeah.
The security thing for me.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Nice.
Totally.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Mike. You'll get the maximum amount of time in the park to use the VIP, but a piece of that unique experience is going in where you never get to go in before as well.
Yeah, that lack of headache and security was great. I literally just held up my fanny pack out the window and they're like, all right, you're good. Cool.
It's pretty great.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so and you also mentioned about like probably staying away from shows, obviously, unless, well, I mean, doing whatever you deem is important, I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
You're right on. But do most people go to all four parks with their tour?
I do not think so.
No,
I don't see how you could with like a stroller and car seats and.
Yeah, we hit the ground pretty hard and pretty fast. So I think if you're motivated to get as many things in as you want, yes. But I think most people are just a little slower and just kind of move at a different pace. But it's like we just wanted to move, go.
So we drove, we parked in backstage areas. We didn't go through the main entrance. Like we drove between parks and so all of that not walking, like, back and forth to buses, we cut out all that walking and we still did over 10 miles walking that day.
Get out.
It was pretty wild. Yeah. Like,
wow.
It was an intense day, which we absolutely love. Like we're completely in for that. And that's what was important to us, on that day. But I mean, it's a lot. So to get to 4 parks, I think we were uniquely situated for that. I don't know that just anyone can do that.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, you were even being driven in the park to different areas of the park, which is like the fastest way you can get from one side to the other. Because walking that Epcot loop, it takes
yeah. At our
Okay.
full party, everybody was on the same page. So that's the other important thing. Like day of, if everyone's on the same page, it will be an effortless, easy day, but you have to navigate preferences even within your group. But we were all good to go the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. And then, like you said, the next day, who cares what else you get to? Because
Yeah.
you pretty much did everything.
We did
you
it all.
wanted.
Yeah.
We'd like, Amy wanted a caramel apple, so we did that.
Yeah.
We, what else did we even do?
We did
we rode
breakfast in France one day.
we rode the 3 Caballeros.
Yeah, rode that.
Oh, of course.
But I mean, just truly silly stuff. Like,
Yeah.
It was like the rest of the trip, we just spent time visiting with our friends in the park.
Uh-huh.
That was really all that was.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? The Food and Wine Festival when you guys were there?
Yeah.
It was.
Okay, cool. So, okay. Was there any, like, let me ask you this. Would have she ran to like Port Orleans and gotten like the beignets from over there and stuff?
I wonder.
We didn't really ask.
I wonder
don't
if she
know.
would have. She would have taken us over there if we had wanted, I'm sure.
Yeah. But I don't know if like the free snacks extend to like the events like that.
Well,
I don't
he's
know.
not even saying event. He's saying like over at the hotel, the Port Orleans Hotel.
Yeah.
With the
Oh,
good
yeah,
beignets.
yeah.
I don't know about that.
Because I know the beignets at like Tiana's Bayou, I guess, are not as good. I've never had the ones over at Port Orleans, but I
They're
heard
trash
so
at Tiana's
good.
Bayou. They're trash. Not even real beignets. They're croissants.
They're not trash. They're just not what you're used
trash.
to.
You went in hard on the beignets right there.
Yeah, because I got them and I was really excited, and they're just fried croissants.
Okay, but you
Yeah.
also got a frozen iced tea lemonade that you were like, "This is the most delicious thing I've ever had."
That was delightful.
It was super refreshing on a really hot day.
Oh man, that's so crazy. Okay, so I think I have a really good sense of like what you need to do. And now that you said like you can have multiple people, that you're only buying the time for the tour guide, like it's not, that makes more sense to me. So you could actually have a group of up to 10 people, and if you have multiple obviously parties in there, you could actually split the cost and it wouldn't be as terrible. So if you had 5 couples that you're all splitting the cost, like yes, it's still expensive, but it's actually way more manageable when you're looking at
Absolutely.
than just one person paying for that.
I'd be curious to see what that is versus like the new Disney offering.
Yeah,
Like a new pass.
Yes, same.
Curious about
Same.
that.
I mean, you certainly don't get backstage access. You don't get dropped off. You don't get like, you're going to cut out all that shit that takes up so much of your time. But the only thing you really get is you get to go on a ride, like but you're still sitting in the lightning lane, and you can only do it once per ride.
The car service was awesome. That aspect of
was-
it was pretty cool.
Golly,
Yeah, basically go anywhere a Disney employee can go.
it was pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
not the
crazy.
tunnels.
Not the
Not anywhere. We didn't
tunnels.
get to go to the tunnels.
Yeah.
She did say like they're not that cool.
Maybe not to her.
Did you walk through the park to get to the Star Wars, or did she drop you around by where the Starcruiser was?
No, we did
We walked
park.
through.
We walked through.
There was only
Tower,
one place to park at Hollywood Studios.
behind Tower Terror, and then we walked from there and back to the car.
But it's small.
Yeah, it's a short walk.
Yeah.
Small park, short walk. But
And
I asked her about parking over there, and I don't think the VIP tour guides go over there at all or park around there.
We did ask her about the Galactic Starcruiser.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Because we wore our bands, obviously.
Ridiculous.
Exclusive, so exclusive.
Wrists in the air. Everywhere
We were like, look at all the exclusivity. But we asked her like, what's going on over there, and she was like, like she can't tell us. Why would we even ask?
Like they're filing patents. I've read some of the work going on back there. We know something's happening.
So Mike said that, and she was like, oh,
Like, give me something, Kiara.
nothing.
No.
She's like calling in. She's like, yeah, I got one. I got a live one.
Yeah, he's digging.
truck.
He's digging. Like a dart out of the bush at me.
We're coming up to Tower of Terror. We'll meet us there.
I need security.
Oh, Disney jail, yes.
We got Disney jail.
You would be excited about that. That's so
I
funny.
would.
It's okay. It sounds incredible. And you guys have experienced pretty much everything at Disney, including the greatest steak on the planet, which is at Cinderella's breakfast. So,
So good.
So good.
and this probably, did this top your list of all your experiences there?
No, Galactic Starcruiser was still better.
I think the
Wow.
Galactic Starcruiser.
Because it was with But
All
I
the
think
angry
it was,
online people are coming.
That's fine.
I think it was. This was top 3 for sure. It may be tied with Galactic Starcruiser. I don't want to discount anything that this was, but that Galactic Starcruiser was such like a moment in time for us with the nieces, and like we met y'all there, and it's just full of these incredibly magical memories that can't be replicated, right? Like it's gone forever. We did it, and wow. What a privilege that we got to do that. And this feels very much the same way. What a privilege. What an unbelievable privilege.
Yeah, Starcruiser 1, VIP Tour 2, Figment 3.
Maybe it's like 1.5. Maybe they're tied for 1.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you ride Carousel of Progress with the VIP tour?
We didn't. We rode it the next day. We did ride it on this trip, but we didn't ride it with the tour guys.
You're not going to waste your time on a 5-minute wait.
No.
Normal line.
Yeah.
You know what would be my, like right under these is that private fireworks cruise that we did.
That was pretty cool.
That was way cooler than I expected.
That was pretty cool. That was a good way to that was a nice cherry on top.
I'm going to say that's my like top 3, and I refuse to put them in any order.
Yeah, and that was on a boat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that's really cool. We did the private whatever sweets and treats at Magic Kingdom, and I thought that was really awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
I was surprised because I was actually stressed about finding a place to watch the fireworks. That's the only reason I did it, because I didn't want to have to stress about where to stand, because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And because your sweet wife loves the fireworks.
Yeah, and that's the one thing she couldn't wait for. And I was like, well, I can't F this up, so I better figure this out.
Yeah.
They play on my fears. They're like, we'll guarantee you a good seat. And I'm like, sold.
Yeah. They know how to get you. They know how to get you.
They know how to get me. So at the end, she left you guys at Epcot because you were heading over to Canada, and then you said your goodbyes, and then it was just back to normal life.
It just amongst the normies.
It felt weird.
Did any other like people in the parks at like when you were? Well, I guess you didn't stand in a lot of lines, but did anybody else in the park like ask you questions about the experience while you were like going through it?
No one asked us questions, but people were definitely like keeping our style.
Yeah, got a lot of looks, but no one was brave enough.
So she gave us VIP tour pins, which I didn't dare put on because I didn't want to lose it. And then she also, when we were on something, went and got us some special. It was our anniversary, so she got us an anniversary pin. But it's like a VIP tour happy anniversary.
Dang.
Yeah.
And then
that's hot property.
I know. And then like 2 days after we left, they announced that you can now get VIP tour ears. They're like plaid ears.
Oh boy.
I know.
Yeah.
So now we got to do it again.
Can you only get them if you're obviously on the VIP tour?
Yes, you can only get them on the tour.
Are they land exclusive or are they both?
For right now, it's just Disneyland.
Okay.
Okay. So you could wear the ears and flash your Galactic Starcruiser wristband.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this. Yeah.
So much bling.
So
much bling.
So elite. Everyone's jealous of all of our Disney style.
The sad part is the only people who know the wristband are the workers.
Yeah.
Nobody else even knows what it is. So we look like a bunch of idiots running around with a wristband.
Yeah.
Literally one person, one other time in the park, one other person was wearing them. And I was like, oh, and she was like, okay. And walked away. Like,
does it mean anything to you?
It was cool. We had an experience.
Yeah.
You complete me. Oh my gosh. Okay. This sounds amazing. I had no idea really what to expect. So, if you're telling someone who's getting ready, who's thinking about it, give me like 3 things to prep for that, or what you would tell yourself again if you could do it over again. What would you do different if there is anything?
I feel like I would relax a little bit earlier. I don't do that well. Now you go.
I think just manage your food, like have a big breakfast early.
We did
so
get
you're
too
not
hungry.
Really hungry throughout the day because you don't want to sit down and eat a lot. Like
that was not Kiara's fault either.
Not Kiara's fault.
We were just like, no, let's go.
I just eat a lot, so I get hungry a lot. But I should have taken my own snack so I didn't have to bugger like every 10 minutes, which I didn't. So just make sure
Okay.
you manage your food, but like they will provide snacks, they will bring you stuff, so you're not going to go hungry. But just try to get ahead of like a big hour sit down meal.
Yeah,
Try to
because you're
avoid
doing.
that.
I mean, you did 10 miles on top of that. I mean, you guys
Yeah.
were hustling.
Yeah, you're going to be moving.
Okay.
We
so.
did.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So manage your reserves so that you don't get
Yeah.
bogged down and you don't waste time stuffing your face.
Yeah. So relax earlier, manage your food, and I mean, just really, really be in the moment. Like put your phone away, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, that was interesting because like I was planning on filming quite a bit to do like a
didn't.
real good look at it, but I filmed basically enough to do like a 30-second montage in the video. I did not film hard. I filmed maybe 5 different points in the day, and that was it. A total of maybe 1 minute of a footage. That was it.
Yeah, but that's kind of cool though, because
That's
I
pretty
get
great.
caught up in that. I get caught up in the same thing where you
Yeah.
kind of lose the moment because you're so stressed about the stuff you got to pull.
Yeah.
And in that experience, maybe once in a lifetime opportunity where it's like, okay, I want to take this all in and really enjoy the people you're with and everything. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because I didn't worry about how something was framed, if I got a shot, what was in it. My brain just all that turned off. It was nice.
It was, yeah.
Well, it sounds freaking incredible.
It really was. Cannot recommend it highly enough.
And especially for two people who've been there so much, you've experienced pretty much everything you probably got to go on before, except for these separate areas that obviously you've never seen before. But like, it was still that magical that you would highly recommend it to do the whole experience. Like it just, so I'm sure the guide obviously had a huge part of that, as well as just the ease of getting through the parks.
And the people we were with, like we love them to pieces, and getting that sort of concentrated time where no distractions, and like it was just
Yeah, good point.
us having the most fun and someone else in charge. Like there's very few times in your life that you get that, you know?
Yeah. So Disneyland and Disney World both do these tours.
Yeah. I don't know if any of the OUS parks do it or not.
I don't know.
I would
Yeah, I don't
assume
know.
they do, but
Yeah, you would think. And I can't believe they were doing 95 of those on a slow day when you guys were there.
That's the thing. Like the park level was not super low, but it was pretty low.
our friends got waitlisted when they called to ask.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, we're booked up," and then they called back a few days later and said a tour freed up if you want it.
How far ahead can you book those?
I don't know, but our friends joined us very last minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like maybe 3 weeks before.
Yeah.
Is that right? It was
roughly 3 weeks before, and they called us and said, "Hey."
No, they came over, and
came over, yeah, that's
we
right.
were like going through some stuff, and we were having this like commiserating session, and I said, but we have this trip to look forward to. Like we're going for our anniversary. It's going to be fun. And she said, and you're just going by yourselves, right? And I said, unless y'all want to come. And she was like, we could go. What are the dates? And so I sent her the dates. And then later that night, she texted me and said, send me your flights.
Yeah.
So,
and they were on a different trip. They flew from Vegas. So they live in DFW. They were in Vegas for something. They flew from Vegas to Orlando for this trip. And they told us like, hey, we did a thing. We don't want to hear you say anything about it, but we booked this and we want to have fun and we want this. It was really sweet that they did that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It was a privilege.
Wow, rock on.
Yeah. So,
I'm not sure I have any other questions. That literally puts that. I'm like just my brain spinning for like future trips and like how awesome that would be.
It's like you have to plan it out. Like you have to figure out at some point we got to do this, but what's the right time? And like, do we do it at Christmas when everything's all set up and magical, or do we do it in the summer when like the lines are going to be real long? Or like, there's all kinds of like ways and means and things that I'm thinking of. Like, it would be so great to take our family at some point.
Yeah.
But like, when's the right time for that trip? And, do we wait until, the kids are out of college, and do we there's all kinds of, it has to be perfect, but really it's just going to be perfect no matter when you do it, because it's just a perfect experience.
Yeah, I mean, the key with saying that would be doing it at a time around like the holidays, right? When it's absolutely hammered in the park, because then it doesn't matter because you still get to buzz through everything. But that's why it's so expensive during that time period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I bet it is next to impossible to book it like on Christmas Day.
I bet that's probably 3 to 6 months out. most likely.
That's exactly what I was just thinking about, because like it would be cool because, well, it's not that cool because the park's still packed. Like you're still gonna have to walk through parts of the park, and it's so annoying trying to get through all that stuff.
Yeah.
When it's just slammed. But I'm wondering if you would have like special access to like the parades or anything like that.
Probably.
I would imagine you would. There's a lot of great access that they give you.
Yeah.
But like imagine the most relaxing time you've had in the park, like those moments. But imagine it lasting the whole time you're there for 10 hours.
All day.
Yeah,
it's
and
wild.
all 4 parks.
All 4 parks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So good.
Well, thank you. That's actually so fun to talk about. We got like 3 people listening to this, but I don't care because it's really fun and I enjoyed it. Because I've been thinking about it since you guys told me you guys were going. I'm like, man, I can't wait to hear what this was about or what this was like. Because it's one of those things where you like hear about and you're like, yeah, it's not something I'm ever gonna be able to do. And then you go through it and you're like, okay, this was life changing.
It was so much better than I don't know what I expected. It was so much better than that. It just really was cool. Like one of the most special days I've ever had.
Imagine it's like recapturing, you know how people talk about like the good old days at Disney, like remember how great it was? It's like you pay a little bit more to have one of those days, like the greatest day at Disney.
It did feel like living in the good old days. You know what? You know how that song by Macklemore, like "Good Old Days," when Kesha says, "I wish someone would have told me that I was living in the good old days." Like that. It's and it felt that way. It felt that way on the Galactic Starcruiser. Like these are the good old days. It felt that way when we were sitting in Epcot, like with the breeze blowing, and we had that delicious cake, and like it was very much a. Okay, this is the good old days. Yeah. Like this is what when we're old in our rocking chairs on our front porch, this is what we'll be talking about.
Yeah, because especially in places like Disney, those moments are so hard to come by, and you just had a 10-hour day of that, which is nearly impossible to find.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yep.
Well, amazing. Thank you both for coming on again. Mike, this is the 3rd time now.
I need a jacket.
We'll get you a green jacket. And Erin, this is your 2nd. So thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking about your Disney VIP. And Mike, once again, you'll have a little kind of clip video for this on 8-Bit Blood on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to promote anything else?
That's all I got right now. Just go look me up on YouTube, 8-Bit Blood.
Erin, do you have anything? I know you're going to tell me no.
I just don't. I really don't. I have a great book suggestion.
Ooh.
It's called The Life Impossible by Matt Haig. It was a real life changer for me. I just read it. Okay. Just blew through it. It's really good. The Life Impossible. Mm-hmm. Okay. He wrote The Midnight Library, which was a changed my purview on everything. And this, he nailed it again. So good. Beautiful. Yeah, we're reading through the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People right now at work with 35 of us. Oh, yeah, and it's going really, really well. And so I have a running list of because I want to do book club for the rest of the time if I can, if I have people who are interested. So keeping a running list of books on people because I just don't read enough, and this is my way of holding myself accountable. So awesome. Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you both for coming on, and hopefully that was enjoyable for someone out there besides the 3 of us. But yeah. We will catch everybody on the next one. What do you got, Erin? Even if it was just enjoyable for the 3 of us. That's right. It's totally worth it. All right. We'll see everybody later. Bye. Good job. Thank you, brother. Hey, can you edit out where Mike said that she talked about the celebrity stuff? Yeah. Okay. Oh, let me stop the recording. Oh, did she say you're not supposed to talk about that? Yes. Yes, she did. And then Mike did it.